All right, the UFC officially has a new super villain. I am, of course, talking about KHAMZAT Chimaev. Boys, the Wolf. I mean, come on. When he walked out to that fight, the boo from the crowd was like nothing I've ever heard. I mean, listen, I used to get booed a fair bit as well, but that took the biscuit. I mean, that was mental. Now, listen. People want to see people go out there, the fighters go out there and make weight. He didn't make weight. He blamed it on the doctor stopping him, but ultimately he's accountable. But then afterwards, he didn't give a shit. And then he's flipping off the crowd. Then he's talking shit and he's talking about killing people left, right and centre. Listen, I absolutely love it. I do. It brings a lot of controversy. It brings eyeballs and it's very, very polarising. If you're a mixed martial artist, if you're a fighter, a boxer, pretty much anything in any walk of life, you kind of want to be polarising, but certainly in combat sports, if you can walk out there and ultimately have half the crowd cheering, that's what you want, and half booing, that's the perfect scenario. Last thing you want to do is walk out there and there's a little golf clap and they're indifferent and they don't really care. Well, out there, Saturday night, there was 95% of the crowd wanted Chimaev to get his head popped off because people aren't liking him. He's a legit bad guy. He's straight out of a Bond movie. The way he looks, the way he talks. Brother, I'm going to kill everybody.
I'm the most dangerous guy here. I got a gun for everyone. I kill everybody. Allahu Akbar.
It's a bad impression, but that's how he talks. The look, the lip, everything all about it. But then, of course, the way that he fights inside the octagon. I mean, the man is absolutely terrifying. Saturday night against Kevin Holland, he never got hit yet again, other than the fight with Gilbert Burns. So far, he's had 6 fights in the UFC. Forget about the fight with Gilbert Burns, but if you forget about that fight, he's only been hit 2 times, 2 significant strikes when I think John Phillips was doing that as he was choking him out. So he's never eaten a blow other than the Gilbert Burns fight. The Gilbert Burns fight, of course, he was pushed to his limit. He had to fight through adversity, but he showed he's got the ability to do that. Now, let's talk about the fight. Me, like an absolute fool, I picked Kevin Holland to win.
Hey, so what now? Say something!
That was because the weight cut really bothered me. And I thought anytime somebody comes in 8 pounds, 7 point something over, they've had a terrible weight cut. And then the doctor said that he cannot cut weight anymore, right? If the doctor's stepping in and calling it a day, that's because you are suffering. Generally, if you're suffering, the weight cut is bad, the fight is going to be bad. The cardio is going to be bad. And the longer the fight goes, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Kevin Holland, we have never seen him dominated like that. We have never seen Kevin Holland get ragdolled, owned, finished, destroyed in 1 round. And that's what happened. Kevin Holland's been in there with some of the best middleweights on the planet. Knocked out Jacare from his back. Jacare's one of the best grapplers we had in the UFC. Granted, it was at the end of Jacare's run. We know that. But still, to do that in the style that he did, he's been in there with big hitters like Marvin Vettori. He's never had that happen to him. KHAMZAT went out there, and I love the line by Daniel Cormier, by the way, when he said, he took him down like I would take Dana White down. He went out there, showed him no respect. A couple of seconds into the fight, boom, shoots a double leg, kind of gets it. Holland scrambles up, switches to an inside trip. Holland climbs up again, and he just stuck with it. He was absolutely relentless. He was like a dog with a bone. And then once he got him down, he got the quarter Nelson, right? And then switched it to a Darce choke. It's a classic setup, but he did it very, very well. He did it expertly. But Kevin Holland's no joke on the ground. He knows what he's doing. And Kevin Holland was moving. He was pivoting. He was scrambling. He was doing everything he could to stay in that fight. But Chimaev was 1 step ahead. Every time he would move, Chimaev would adjust. Every time he scrambled, Chimaev would again move to a position where he had the choke locked in. And then when he got it all the way nice and deep, under the arm, under the neck, the other hand there on the bicep, and it's there, that sucker's locked in, and there's no getting out of that. And of course, we saw Kevin Holland tap. So just an absolutely terrifying performance. And it's certainly going to put a lot of the UFC on notice, either in the middleweight division or the welterweight division, because we don't know what's going to happen with him. He came in, he was nowhere near 170. That is alarming. I said on the hype video coming into this, Chimaev needed that kind of performance. He caused the press conference to be cancelled. He didn't make weight. The entire card got a shake-up in terms of who they were fighting, and that was all down to Chimaev, right? And if you go out there and you lose, or you go out there and have a boring fight, or you just scrape by a decision, it's not the best look, certainly considering what you caused, the hassle, the stress, the expense, all of that. But it doesn't matter. That is eradicated because he went out there and he destroyed Kevin Holland. He lived up to the hype, to the reputation. He blew everybody's minds, and there was nothing but a lot of options right now if you're KHAMZAT Chimaev. The reality is, because he's missed weight, I think some of the people, Dana would force them to move up a weight class. There has been instances of that happening. But he has made 170 before. And this is the first time that he's missed weight. So I think they're going to give him another opportunity. So at 170, I mean, Leon Edwards is the champ. He's going to go up against Kamaru Usman, probably, I would have thought. But there's a lot of big matchups. Colby Covington, I mean, that is one I would love to see. Colby's a fantastic wrestler himself. So could he nullify the wrestling of KHAMZAT Chimaev? Potentially. Colby's a cardio king. Would he be able to outlast KHAMZAT and take it to the later rounds? There's a lot of questions. Is he going to go up to 185? Maybe he is. Israel Adesanya needs challenges. Granted, Adesanya has a challenge. He's fighting, I'm going to say Alex Pereira, Madison Square Garden, right? He had a few wins and they fast-tracked him. Of course, there's a storyline. He's beaten Adesanya twice in kickboxing. It's going to be very intriguing. But let's just say Adesanya wins. Who else is he going to fight? Chimaev at 185 is a very, very real threat. Chimaev at 170 is a very, very real threat. The man's a threat to everybody.
I'm most dangerous guy here. I got a gun for everyone. I kill everybody. Allahu Akbar.
The guy's out of his mind. The guy's crazy and he's absolutely terrifying. As I say, he went out there and just destroyed Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland deserves a lot of respect, you know, stepping up, taking on a completely different style of opponent. Taking on a wrestler like that, he did an entire training camp training for a completely different style. 24 hours, the day before, says, yeah, I'll do that. I'll step up to 180 and fight that guy. You know, has my respect all day long, and I love his attitude. Kevin Holland is the absolute man. All right, real quick, let's go through some of these other fights. We had Daniel Rodriguez versus Li Jingliang. Competitive fight, the crowd were booing, I don't know why, but Li Jingliang I thought looked really good. Beautiful head movement on display, nice selection of shots, good footwork. Daniel Rodriguez was a little bit more, you know, classic in his approach, standing there trying to close down the distance. He got the decision. I'm not sure he deserved it. It wasn't a robbery. I think if I was scoring it, I would have given it 2-1 to Li Jingliang. But I don't even like saying that because it was close and it's like I'm disrespecting D-Rod's achievement, which I'm not. It wasn't a robbery. It was a really, really close fight. I don't think the stock of Li Jingliang is going to go down. He accepted a new opponent as well. 24 hours notice. You know, the UFC needs people like that. The UFC needs people that are dependable, that they know if they're in a situation like this where a card falls apart, you're willing to be that guy that will step up, that will change opponent, that will fight anyone, anytime, any place. And that's what the UFC needs, and that's what he did. So Li Jingliang is going to still have a lot of options. Before that, we saw the first and only ever up kick to the stomach TKO in Irene Aldana taking on Macy Chiasson. Aldana got off to a tremendous start. Big shot with the right hand in round one. Takes it down, gets on top, threatening submission, big ground and pound. Chiasson was lucky to see the end of the round. Then answers it perfectly. Goes out there, potentially gets a 10-8 round in round two. Dominates her from start to finish in round two. But then in round three, goes out. Chiasson, once again, keeps that ball rolling, keeps that same energy, keeps the same success. She was winning round three. Aldana's on her back, trying for a heel hook or something like that, I think. Chiasson backs away. She's standing over her. She thinks she's in no danger. Aldana throws an up kick, hits the stomach. Chiasson wasn't expecting that. If you're on your feet and you're trading punches, you're trading shots, you're ready for a body shot, you kind of brace yourself for impact. Not all the time, but sometimes you do. I think when you're standing up, you've always got to be aware of up kicks to the face. When I was training mixed martial arts, you train up kicks. They're a solid attack. They're a reliable attack. They're a very powerful attack. The heel of your foot, this bad boy, not as flexible as they used to be, is very, very hard. She threw it up. It hit the liver. Beautiful shot. Chiasson shut down. Oh, my God. What a fight. Oh, pardon me. What a fight. And she's calling out Amanda Nunes. I'd love to see it. I think Aldana would give her a good run. And Amanda Nunes also, like Adesanya, needs fresh challenges. Of course, opening the fight, we saw Ivan Kutalaba and Johnny Walker. Kutalaba went out there, getting off to a great start, catches the kick, forces him down. But in this sport of mixed martial arts, you got to make good decisions. You've got to be calculated and strategic. And you can't let the emotions, the adrenaline, the moment, or an opportunity blow it all for you. Because Kutalaba saw an opportunity for an armbar and he took it. He shouldn't have done that. You want to maintain top position. Listen, if you go for an armbar and you get it, the fight's over. Sensational. But you got to make sure you can hold that position and make sure you get it locked in. I thought it was just a momentary lapse of focus, concentration. He just made a bad decision. He took a gamble and it never paid off. It allowed Johnny Walker to get on top. He scrambled, he gets on top, he takes the back, took the neck home. I thought Johnny Walker showed a lot of improvement. When he came to the UFC, he had a lot of exciting wins. He was unpredictable. He was a little kind of a berserker in there, you know. You never knew what he was going to throw. But he was big, he was powerful, unorthodox. And when he connected with people, he knocked them out. Then he would blow out his own shoulders in his post-fight celebration. Did a little worm on the dance floor in the octagon afterwards. And I'm not surprised because he celebrated, because he was under a lot of pressure as well. Coming into that one, the losses have been hard to come by for Johnny Walker. But you can clearly see he's maturing as an athlete, as a fighter, working on the fundamentals. That's it for the main card. We've got to give a big shout out to Chris Barnett and Jake Collier. Man, what a fight. Chris Barnett, that man is absolutely sensational to watch. The dancing, the fighting, that was the heavyweight fight we all want to see. You know, we want to see heavyweights throw down like that. We want to see them go back and forth and swing for the fences. But sometimes we don't. You know, and we say it only takes one. Well, they landed a lot of shots. You know, Barnett was bust up, the eye was bleeding, his jaw was potentially broken. He did not give a shit. Went forward, got the job done. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to everyone that competed on that card. Okay, once again, the UFC knocked it out of the park. A tremendous event, and I loved every second of it. Anyway, as you can see, still here in Bulgaria. Going to be here for a while. Hope you're well. Subscribe and ring that bell if you haven't done so. And I'll be back with another video soon. Take care.